Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Morning 4 podcast. Today is Tuesday, October 1st, 2019, and I'm your host, Katie Parsons. Welcome back. If you are a loyal listener, I hope that you had a great weekend and a wonderful Monday. And if this is your first time here, this is the Morning 4. This is a weekday podcast. It's usually about 5 to 6 minutes long. We cover 2 fun or upbeat facts, a feel-good news story, and we end together with an affirmation. And I am sitting in a new podcast studio. It's actually still my house, just a bigger room. We just recently rearranged. So no, you are not seeing things if you're watching this video. If you normally watch on YouTube, it is a different setting. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, you may notice that I am in a t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt, because it's T-shirt Tuesday. And today's t-shirt of choice is from the Space Coast Marathon. That's a marathon I ran. Gosh, it was back in 2015 now, almost 4 years ago. But the Space Coast Marathon for this year and half marathon is coming up on December 1st. There are still spots available if you want to register. If you're local, if you're not local and you just want to come in and enjoy an awesome race in Florida in December, head to spacecoastmarathon.com to get registered and find out more details. And you could get a medal like this one. Again, if you're not watching on YouTube, you need to head over to youtube.com and search the Morning 4 podcast so that you can see this bling I am holding up. Bling that you could have similar bling if you run this race. And if you have any questions about it, you know you can always reach me at morning4podcast@gmail.com. But let's get to the matter at hand, and let's get today started with
Number 1.
So according to all my social media news feeds, I missed a very important holiday this weekend, and that was National SonsDay. Now, I didn't miss it in real life, of course. I was thankful for my son that day, but I didn't mention it on last week's podcast because I didn't know it was coming until I saw everyone posting pictures of their sons, and those were awesome to view. Well, since we celebrated daughters last week on the podcast, I of course wanted to take a few moments and say how much I love my one son. I have 4 daughters and 1 son, and his name is Ferris, and he is smart, he is witty, he is athletic, he is quick, he is all of those things that you would want in a son, and it's okay for me to brag on him and not be narcissistic because he's not my son by birth, he's my stepson, and so I get to watch this young man grow up. And what a wonderful experience that has been so far. I've been married to his dad since he was 4, so we're 8 years into this relationship, and I am loving every second of the journey getting to raise a son. And much to his dismay, because he is a middle school student, and I'm sure you all remember how middle school was, or perhaps you're in middle school right now, he not only has one parent who cares about him and is all up in his business, he not only has 2, but he has 3, and we're all pretty involved. But thank goodness middle school doesn't last forever. And I wanted to send a belated happy National SonsDay to Ferris.
Number 2.
There was another important holiday this weekend. I hope you celebrated. I guess technically it's one that I celebrate every day, and that's because it was National Coffee Day, or Coffee Appreciation Day, or International Coffee Day, depending what source you read on this important novelty holiday. I had my coffee around 2 a.m. on Sunday morning because I was working at a race. I needed to be there at 3:30, and around 5:30, I was sitting out at my post on this beautiful course in the dark, and I was out of coffee, and so I was certainly appreciating it because I wished I had some at that very moment. But when I got off work, I went to the nearest Starbucks, of course, got my favorite, and if anyone's taking notes, this is what I always get: a venti hot Pike Place with coconut milk and 1 stevia, just in case we're ever, getting coffee together, or maybe you want to try something new. That's my recommendation, and it definitely hit the spot. If you don't love coffee, don't worry. My husband doesn't either, so I will keep my eyes and ears open for another beverage holiday that hopefully fits the bill.
Number 3.
Today's feel-good news story is sourced from NPR. Last week, the University of California, Los Angeles opened the world's first institute to study kindness. This was a feat made possible through a $20 million gift. The Badari Kindness Institute wants to pool the knowledge gleaned from researchers at UCLA that work in different divisions. So there's researchers from psychology, neurobiology, sociology, and more. And the idea is to gather up all of their knowledge in a central spot and see how it all relates. The Institute wants to create opportunities to translate all of that into real-world practices, such as why does a person give up his or her seat on the train, or why does someone volunteer his or her time to help someone else in need? Other topics of interest include how does kindness spread, and does being kind impact our brains in a positive way? UCLA anthropologist Daniel Fessler said that the mission of the Institute is multifaceted. The reason that we select kindness in this regard is we are not exclusively concerned with actions, but we're also concerned with the thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and intentions that lie behind those actions, he said. Well, I am really excited about the ramifications of this. I think the more research you can gather and the more people talk to each other about things like this, the more we're all going to benefit. So I'll keep tabs on it, and I will let you know more information as I hear it.
Number 4.
Well, let's get ready for the rest of today and the rest of this week with our affirmation. Repeat after me. I am ready for the next level. Today I move toward opportunity. Whatever is in your path today, I hope that you move toward it with positive intent. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you back here again tomorrow.